very passable, this. Very passable.
Nothing like a good glass of orange juice at a 4N meet.
You're right there, Mark.
Who'd have thought 10 years ago we'd be all sat here drinking orange juice at one of 250 groups?
Aye, in them days we were glad to have a cup of tea and there was just one area.
A cup of cold tea, and it wasn't an area, it was a group.
Without milk or sugar, or even the tea.
And it wasn't a group, it was barely a gathering.
Not even a gathering, just Brad Burton, founder and former 4Network MD.
You missed a bit, Terry. First group I went to didn't even have any visitors.
Now the UK's #1 motivational speaker.
First group I went to didn't even have any visitors.
Visitors? We just used to drag them off the street down in Chepstow. Group leader at Chepstow forgot to mention that earlier.
Locals, well, the best we could do in Ross was get Brad and John to spam everybody remorselessly until they submitted and gave in out of fear and attended a meeting.
And then the attendees had to make their own placeholders.
Aye, out of word art.
Aye.
But you know, 4N in those days was happy, even though it was lonely.
Aye, because we were lonely, Brad used to say to me, more groups don't make you get more happiness.
He were right. I was happier then and I wasn't even a regional leader. I used to attend 2 or 3 meetings regularly in Gloucestershire and Herefordshire.
Gloucestershire and Herefordshire? I used to go around the whole of South Wales. And I only had a mini emblazoned with creating media. Sorry, not a sales pitch, I'm just mentioning that.
South Wales? South Wales was my territory. No, it wasn't. And I had to cycle with a puncture, both wheels, and no brakes.
Pedal cycle? Luxury, that. I set up 25 groups barely in a month, all the way up to Birmingham. And I had to walk, well, hop sometimes.
Aye, I used to dream about just 25 groups. Brad got me to be chairman and didn't mention 300 groups to be visited weekly across the length and breadth of the country, having to walk on my hands as I had no shoes, and then there was Australia 4N, had to bloody swim there.
Well, when I say attend, I meant pop in, scoff a breakfast, do a 3-minute long 40 seconds, gather every last piece of literature from the bunk table, and then spend a day emailing everybody possible before putting them on an email newsletter, with no unsubscribe button.
Email, we used LinkedIn and Twitter. We took a week to follow up every meeting. I had LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook. Who remembers Foursquare from the old days? Foursquare, where's that gone? Pinterest and Google+, there was no Periscope then.
Social media? Ah, you were lucky to have social media. I had to foresight at every meeting in the network at least once a quarter. And it was before, what we're looking for?
PowerPoint.
Oh, aye.
PowerPoint.
Aye. Hey, you were bloody lucky. As chairman, I was expected to find each new venue from Yellow Pages.
What?
Knock on every business door in a 10-mile radius, run the meeting without a bloody script, sign up the visitors, close the meeting, send a handwritten receipt for all coming, and paint individual portraits of all new members on the bloody website.
Evan, as group leader for Mighty Monmouth, I used to get to the venue at 6 AM, repaint the meeting room, cook 30 breakfast, no continentals in them days.
No vegetarians.
No. Anyway, venue at 6 AM, paint the room, cook breakfast, welcome the 20 visitors I'd personally booked in, run the meeting, take the fines, personally deliver all the paperwork into headquarters in Taunton, where Brad would swear at me at least 20 times, if I were lucky.
Well, we had it tough in Wales, in the valleys. As area leader, I got to every venue at 4 AM. I repainted and carpeted the room and any areas where we had one-to-ones. I cooked 50 breakfasts, welcomed 30 new visitors, all from bigger businesses. I did everybody's 40 seconds in the room. I paid for everybody to join and took the paperwork to Taunton by swimming across the Severn Channel. It was tough, and Brad would shout at me for at least 4 hours.
Well, right. When I was a first regional leader with 300 groups, I had to get up in the morning at 11 p.m. at night, half hour before I went to bed, build a new venue, prepare and cook 70 breakfasts by 4 candles, do all the team members' jobs, take part in every single one-to-one, wash the dishes with just 2 cups of lukewarm water, demolish the venue, and then I would have to move it somewhere else on for the next meeting. When I got to Taunton, Brad would get Big John Ray to beat me up.
But
we were happy.